It's September 14th, 2025, and I just wanted to make another video about my experience with ENS. Um, Even though I just made a video recently, I wanted to make another one. It's, it's odd because every time I talk, it's hard to breathe. It's just you notice the difference, you know, before I had ENS, you could just talk. You wouldn't have to worry about running out of breath. But now, you have to worry about that. You have that fear. Um, yeah, it's yeah, it's definitely hard to just like talk and relax with ENS. Yeah, I'm no longer living in my apartment. I lost my place to live. So I'm living in like kind of a remote area now. And away from the city. Um, I can't breathe better though. Breathing's just as bad. Even though the air is fresh here, I'm still having a hard time talking, making this video. Um, Even with fresh air and no pollutants in the air, it's one thing about ENS too, is I definitely lost my ability to filter because my turbinates are resected and they don't stand up anymore. People who have ENS, well, not everybody, they're when pollutants come into your nose, that's the job of your turbinates is to, create more moisture so the pollutants stick to your turbinates, not go into your lungs. And mine definitely do not collect the pollutants anymore because they don't stand up anymore. Um, my turbinates are scarred to my bone. That's what my doctor did to me, through coblation. The brilliancy of my doctor, Dr. Zaher from Dearborn, Michigan, thought it would have been a good idea to burn turbinates that were not enlarged, down to the bone. Um, I guess he thought that would be a good idea for me. Funny, I don't know if I've mentioned this in my other videos, but the night before my surgery, I was so worried about getting ENS. I talked to my doctor on the phone and I asked him about the surgery overall. I asked him directly, I said, you think that this surgery is going to improve the quality of my life? And he goes, it should. That was his answer. And part of my, that was definitely, the way he answered it was a big, big problem. Um, should have been a warning sign to me, but again, I trusted doctor. I thought, he's an ENT. He knows what he's doing. But he was just another arrogant piece of shit doctor. That cares about money than the overall health of his patients. Um, yeah, my doctor actually took out a restraining order on me, so I can't contact my doctor anymore. Um, it's a 1 year restraining order. Um, he's claimed that, I was stalking him, but, you know, I mean, what do you do when somebody takes your life from you? You try and reason with the person. You try and figure out why they would do this to you. And, so far through all the multiple emails and letters I've typed up and sent to him, I've never gotten a good answer as to why I thought doing a turbinate reduction on somebody whose turbinates were not enlarged was a good idea. Um, yeah, my doctor, he's such a bad doctor, and it's just so scary that he still practices. And um, you know, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. And then the same night I talked to him on the phone, he told me that septoplasty and turbinate reduction were a package deal. That's what he told me. I asked him. I just wanted to get the septoplasty, which I didn't even need. I didn't even need the septoplasty, and he told me they were a package deal. You know, in my final letter, before he, did the restraining order on me, I said, who the fuck says that to their patients? Who the fuck says that a septoplasty and a turbinate reduction is a package deal? Especially when mine was done in an office setting. He just broke my nose with a tool. Um, he certainly could have done that without burning my turbinates. Um, yeah, I know I've made multiple videos about this doctor, but I feel like the only way I can like live and continue to survive is to warn people about this man and to just make people aware of him. Um, he shouldn't be practicing medicine. And I reported him back to the Michigan Medical Board back in May, and I haven't heard shit back. So it's like medical board doesn't even give a shit that he caused harm. They don't even care. You know, so, but yeah, um, I still have no desire to live. Um, every day I don't want to be alive. Um, I think I've mentioned this before. I've lost count now how many antipsychotic drugs I've been on, but they don't do anything. They don't give me a will to live. You know, um, I've been on 6 different antidepressants since my surgery in December. They don't give me a will to live. I don't have a will to live. I only live for my family. Um, but yeah, I'm like in nature now. I'm in a beautiful area. I still can't enjoy life. Can't enjoy the beauty of nature anymore. When you can't breathe, you just have no enjoyment really in anything. And the only thing that really brings me enjoyment is eating food. Um, eating food is, it doesn't give me enough will to make me want to live. I don't know. I just want to warn people again, never ever have a turbinate reduction surgery. Like I said, unless it's life threatening, never take the chance of having a turbinate reduction surgery. You know, it'll steal your soul from you and all your joy in your life and takes your ability to love other people away. ENS does. Um, there was nothing even wrong with my nose. I had rhinitis. My turbinates weren't enlarged. All I had was rhinitis. Not even a bad case of it. Yeah. Decided, had no oral informed consent from my doctor. Just I know I signed the paperwork, but he's told me nothing about the risks of the procedure or the benefits or what the point of this procedure even was. So, but yeah, just if you ever hear the word turbinate reduction, turbinoplasty, anything involving your turbinates, never ever have them touched unless it's life threatening. I wouldn't even use the most conservative method. Not even worth it. Just live with the congestion. Wear a nasal strip. I would wore a nasal strip for the rest of my life had I known this was gonna happen to me. Just there's holistic ways of finding relief without touching your turbinates. Turbinate surgery is not should be banned. Shouldn't even be allowed. Um, even the most conservative methods are, yeah. But of course, they'll try and sell it to you anyways. I know ENS is rare, but why take the chance? Why take the 2% chance of getting ENS? They say it's about a 2% chance. So, I mean, that's 2 out of 100. It's just why even take that chance being one of those 2 out of the 100 to get ENS or yeah, some form of ENS. Um, yeah, yeah. So again, I just wanted to warn people about my doctor again, and you know, um, ENS just continues to destroy my soul, my body. Um, yeah, that's it. I never know how many more days I'll have left on this earth. I don't know. Um, yeah, that's it, really. I just wanted to make another video warning people about turbinate reduction and warning people about the tactics doctors use. That's it. Thanks for